Don't eat meat. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the chat. Anybody that's just getting here, don't eat meat. It's not nice. What's up, Clara? What's going on? We're outside the gym again for a quick one. We're going to see if there's a shit ton of people going into the gym right now because it's 5:30. So here, I'll show you. Let's see if we can get some heat here. Shit ton of people. And there's some event going on at the school too. So we'll see what we can do here. I'm pretty sure everybody can read the sign. I think I might have to get a little closer actually to it. I think this is blocking it. And that last chat, woof, man, those people are, that last chat, they're a little loony. Like all those fanatic Bible thumpers are just a little bit loony, right? I couldn't even, I mean, I saw yeah, anyway. I thought that was interesting though. There was the press came by. That was kind of cool. The literal local capital newspaper took a bunch of pictures of me interviewing that woman. We're not interviewing her, but it could be framed like I was interviewing her. And he's like, yeah, you know, this might go in the newspaper, it might not. Yeah, super cool. He was literally from the Capitol. I got to tell him that I used to deliver that newspaper when I was younger and give him a little down low on what I'm doing. And we got to do a little activism with him, you know, get him thinking a bit. Plus, we gave him a card, which was cool. All right, we got 6 people in here. We're cooking. Oh, there we go. We're upticking. We're cooking. Come on in, guys. Load in. Don't eat meat. Don't eat it. A lot of people don't understand that when they buy it, you're supporting and strengthening systems of violence and oppression, rape and slavery. And that's what the sign says today. And we're hitting everybody that's coming into the gym with this posture, with this truth. Just a person, welcome. Just a person. We gotta disagree with you. These people are coming in to say, eat children. Avoiding the euphemisms, you're in actually calling it what it is. You're saying eat children. You're saying abuse children. You're saying rape children. That's what you're saying, because when you shore up and pay for systems of violence, that's exactly what you're doing. That's all right, Rox, let's go. Yeah, chronologically speaking, just a person. Cows are about at a third of their time horizon when they're killed, so they're still younglings. Chickens are definitely kids, just children's. Essentially, they're killed at 42 days old, and they have about an 8-year time horizon that they could live to. But they're killed at 42 days old. So we kill them when they're kids. We abuse them. We say, your body, my choice. It's not very macho, guys. Well, if you hang out long enough, X, maybe you'll understand, hopefully. Yes, what Clara said. Watch Game Changers. We're outside the gym today, so Game Changers is what we are going to be pumping today. Awesome movie on Netflix where you can learn you can get all your protein, vitamins, and minerals from a vegan diet. You don't need anything from meat, cheese, milk, and eggs nutritionally. That nutrition argument is off the table, and it's been off the table. The ANDA, the American Nutrition Dietetic Association, lament on their website that vegan diets are adequate for all stages of life from pregnancy to elderhood. There's no straw man argument. No straw man here. We're just imparting sound information. Anyway, if you're just getting here, we're outside of a gym and we're challenging people with some truth as they drive in, saying buying meat equals directly supporting slavery, rape, and violence. And that's what we do when we support these systems, when we buy meat. Yeah, if you're new here, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. The only thing this benefits me is being able to proliferate the vegan message, to spread it far and wide. I don't get money. There's no money in veganism, guys, but there is truth in veganism. And the only way to impart truth is to disrupt societal flows, get people critically thinking. That's what we're trying to do with this channel. We're trying to proliferate it. What's up, Steven? What's going on, sir? How are you? According to my belief system, everything is sentient. Grass, plants, and fungus. Well, even if plants are sentient, veganism is not about perfection. It's the reduction of harm. And vegan is always the most reduction of harm. If you're vegan, you kill 8 times less plants. So if you're a plants' right activist, you will be vegan. Energy conversion ratio, the cow takes in 8 units of energy, only gives out 1, has to eat 8 times as much instead of you just eating those plants directly. So that little argument, your belief system, is completely fallacious. Shouldn't be outside the gym, you should be outside the grocery store. Don't worry, I'm there every once in a while too. If you don't want people to eat, you're standing in front of the wrong building. It's all good. If you scroll through some of my past lives, I've got plenty where I'm in front of the grocery store. We're hitting the macho crowd tonight. We're letting them know that there's nothing macho about killing children, raping mothers, oppressing others. Going to give you guys a heads up. There's a police over here that's kind of eyeing me, and he's camped about 100 yards to my left. So I'm not quite sure if we're in a public space here or not, but I'm pretty sure I am. I guess we'll find out in a little bit, huh? Anyway, if you're just getting here, okay, well, let's answer some questions. Giselle says, why shouldn't I eat meat? Explain it to me. So even the word meat has been curated and architected by control narratives. Think about it. Eat meat. I just eat meat. It's very casually kind of exacted, said in everyday life. It's known to be normal, necessary, and nice. And control narratives has framed it and architected it that way. The etymology says it all. You're basically saying meat instead of saying it what it is. What it is was a being that wanted to live. A being that has eyes to see, a nose to smell, a brain to think, sensors to feel, sexual organs to enjoy themselves. And when you're not vegan, you're essentially saying your body, my choice, and placing your vote, your ballot, your monetary vote in the direction of your body, my choice. And it's just not nice. It's just not nice. That's right, everybody like and subscribe. What is she doing? We can be vegan in the new heaven, in the new earth. Until then, eat the flesh of the animals, according to the blessing of God. So I don't know if you saw my live stream from earlier, but we were doing one on Jesus, and the sign said Jesus would be vegan in 2025. So Jesus was the most compassionate man on earth. If Jesus was alive today, he would be vegan in 2025. And there's no arguing that. If you're going to defend that and argue that, then you're saying that Jesus would pay for rape, Jesus would pay for violence, Jesus would pay for oppression. I don't think you believe that. I don't think you want to defend that position. Ryan's back. The other Ryan's evil twin. What's up, big guy? I missed all that. There you go. Jesus had no problem with violence. No, Jesus was compassionate. He was not a violent person. Giselle says, I call cap. Well, Giselle, The only thing that I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to bring your values and your actions together, because there's a big spread going on. If you're against animal abuse, but you pay for animal abuse, we are all walking around like hypocrites when we do this. So I just come out here and I impart truth. That's it. I impart it to the chat, get people talking, get these, kind of shake things up a little bit. And that's it. Go watch Gary Yourofsky's best speech ever on YouTube that he did at Georgia Tech circa 2012. And sit through it once. You might have to sit through it twice. I had to sit through it twice. But I was just like you before I was interfaced with something like this. And I ridiculed it, I made fun of it, laughed at it. I mean, truth is patient though. It'll wait for you. What's on your sign? It says buying meat equals direct support for slavery, rape, and violence. Watch Dominion.com on YouTube. Please note that I said buying meat, because the buying is the real catalyst there. Vegans aren't going around, trying to police everything you put in your mouth. It's like some kind of weird food police that you guys think we're doing. Guy wanted to see the sign. We are against standing idly by while good people go around shoring up systems of violence with their dollar without knowing. And we are against information being suppressed by control narratives that would otherwise, if imparted, could tilt buying dynamics into a more favorsome way for other sentient. Okay, I'm back. Squid says, go carnivore. Do not go carnivore. Don't put your vote there. Don't put your vote for rape and violence. Be an example to your kids. Be an example to your friends and family. Don't do something childish like that. No, but I know more about nutrition than a doctor. Just so you guys know, doctors get about 3 hours of aggregated nutrition throughout their whole MD tenure, and all that education is sponsored by interests. So basically, you have brands that sponsor their education. They don't know anything about nutrition, guys. They know what they've read in some book that's sponsored. Think about how just fallacious that is. So please don't trust your doctor when it comes to nutrition. Please don't listen to them when it comes to anything nutrition. 3-2, they don't, I'm sorry. I know more than my doctor. I educate my GP. He doesn't know anything about nutrition. The guy's walking around blind. God love him. You got to go there every once in a while. I try to go as least as I can. There's a lot of stuff you can eat instead of meat, and that's a great question. You can eat beans, chickpeas, lentils, legumes. You can eat pasta, pizza. You can eat burgers, vegan versions of meat and cheese and milk and eggs. You can eat brown rice, beans, Mexican, Italian, Japanese fusion, Chinese fusion. Every single essential amino acid is in every single fruit and vegetable. All you got to do is consume enough calories. There's a few outliers in there that don't have every single essential amino acid, but we're talking a trivial few. Eat enough calories, you're good to go. If you watch Game Changers on Netflix, you'll see the soundness of the vegan diet, and you'll see what you can do on a vegan diet. The world's strongest man, Patrick Baboubian, vegan. Olympic weightlifter. He's in the movie, I can't remember his name. Nimai Delgado, cover of Muscle and Fitness, vegan. Tia Blanco, vegan. What's his name? Dojovic, the tennis player, vegan. Arnold Schwarzenegger, mostly vegan now. Everyone's going vegan. Don't get left behind. Fish contain fatty omega-3 acids, which mentally assist brain and heart health. Mage, where do the fish get those omega-3 fatty acids from? Can you tell me? Where do the fish get those omega-3 fatty acids from? All right, I'm going to tell you. They get them from algae, so they don't come from fish. What's going on, big guy? How are you? Jesus fished. Well, if Jesus was here today in 2025, he would be vegan. He would not be anything but. He was the most compassionate man that ever lived. Oh, that's a great question. Life on Jupiter. As someone who's trying to cut back on meat, would you recommend Beyond Meat or Impossible? So I would recommend Beyond Meat, because Beyond Meat uses avocado oil now. They scrapped their seed oils. They also added faba beans and lentils to their new plant-based patty. Beyond Meat has no cholesterol, like regular meat. Beyond Meat has no heterocyclic amines, like regular meat. Beyond Meat has no TMAO, like regular meat. Beyond Meat has no hormones, IGF-1, that's a cancer precursor. Growth factors, cortisol, all like regular meat. Beyond Meat does not have copious amounts of saturated fat baked into those patties, like regular meat. So I would recommend, and pardon my rant, but I would recommend Beyond Meat for sure. Their tastes are spot on, texture is spot on, mouthfeel spot on. They have all the nutrition that a meat patty has, and then some, and you don't get all the baddies. So kind of think of it like and they're markedly healthier, and they don't use GMOs. They don't use soy. Some people are a little dubious over soy. Yeah, they're all around the better option between Impossible and Beyond. But I'm not going to say Impossible's terrible. It's one hell of a lot better than regular meat. Think of it like a balance sheet, guys. Like, I don't know if we have any business people here or any kind of finance people here, but think of it like an income statement, like a quarterly income statement. You have your top line revenue, you have your costs. We'll make it simple. We'll distill it. You have your costs, and then you have your bottom line, your kind of net takeaway, your net profits, right? So when you eat meat, you get your top line stuff. You get your protein, you get some vitamins, some minerals, maybe you'll get some iron, right? But then comes the cost. And the cost is plaque-promoting cholesterol, copious amounts of saturated fat, heterocyclic amines when cooked at high temperatures, TMAO, that's a cancer correlative compound found in the stomach, growth factors, hormones, insulin growth factor 1, it's a cancer precursor. Those are some big costs. So you're going to net out pretty weak. So the strength of meat is weak. It's not strong. Now, if you have something like beans, which are pound for pound basis, more protein than meat. Your top line, you're getting your protein, you're getting vitamins, minerals, all your essential amino acids. You're going to get fiber. You're not going to find that in meat. All this and then some on the top line. In the costs, it's a good quarter, man. It's a killer quarter. Our margins are looking good because that net profit is going to hit. It's going to far eclipse the net profit of your meat on your income statement. So anyway, watch Dominion on YouTube, everybody. You can see what you pay for when you buy meat and cheese and milk and eggs. There's a big disconnect where control narratives do not want you to see what you are paying for. What's up, big guy? How are you? Watch Dominion on YouTube if you can. See what you pay for when you buy meat. Have a good night. Let's see. Mars says they often treat animals better than they treat people. Who? Not farmers. Hey, you're staying, Giselle. That's cool. Meat is just a veggie smoothie? No. I'm very fortunate to be able to afford to spend more on food now. Once I'm really good financially, I'd love to try to cut down on my animal product consumption. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're asking great questions too. You can actually find the food that you need to get nutrition on a plant-based diet, even if you don't want to purchase beyond. You don't need any kind of meat analogs, meat, cheese, milk, or egg analogs to be vegan. I mean, the healthiest way to be vegan is maybe the cheapest way to be vegan. I mean, I don't know, because the healthiest way would be whole food, plant-based, veganic, no oil, and that could be pretty costly. But you can still buy, you know, inorganic if you had to, lentils, beans, rice, pasta, you know, all this stuff. You just eat enough calories, you're good. You're not going to miss anything. A male needs about 55 grams of protein per pound of body weight per day. A female needs about 35 to 40 grams of protein per pound of body weight per day. So industry and these control narrative channels, they want you to think you need hundreds of grams of protein. You need all this protein at each meal. You don't. You don't. This is all just the money. This is the money talking, guys. The money. Okay. 55 grams of protein per day. I'm sorry. 35 to 40 grams of protein. Yeah, that would be an insane amount. 35 to 40 grams of protein per day for a female. The average is about 55 to 60 grams of protein per day for a male. And I would even say less than that. Thanks for intercepting that. We're not omnivores, 3-2. We're not omnivores. Would you recommend a specific protein powder brand? Mine is currently animal-based protein, but I wanted to try something else. Protein powder is important for my weightlifting. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, there's some great brands out there. Thanks for another intelligent question. So Vega, V-E-G-A, they make a great clean protein powder. There's plant protein made by Optimum Nutrition, O-N. They also make a good plant protein powder. Orgain, they make a plant protein powder. And they all have just as much protein as their animal counterparts. And the bonus is you don't get any cholesterol from that cow milk factor. It's actually a lot healthier for you. And if you take the whey protein and copy and paste that profile to that said balance sheet or said income statement I was talking about earlier, and then you copy and paste the plant profile, the plant protein is going to net out win-win, stronger food, stronger nutrition every time. No contest, literally no contest. If you're just getting here, I'm outside of the gym today, and we are hitting the cars that are coming in with a big sign of truth that says buying meat equals direct support for slavery, rape, and violence, and we're prompting them to watch Dominion on YouTube. Everybody here, watch Dominion on YouTube. This is the education you need. I guess we got some sports thing going on over there. You need to see what you're paying for. You deserve to see what you're paying for. You deserve to know what you're affecting with your dollar. Not only are you affecting the poor animals, but you're affecting factory farm workers and their sanity. You're affecting their families. Factory farm workers have the highest degrees of domestic violence nationwide. There's a reason for this, because they're exposed to all kinds of violence, rape, torture, etc., and it becomes desensitized. They get desensitized to what they're seeing, and this makes them go effing nuts. And you guys are in here defending that dynamic. Don't defend that. Don't defend that. 32, are you still on the omnivore train? We're not omnivores, bro. We're not omnivores. We are herbivores. These little teeth back here aren't going into the wilderness to harvest and kill animals with no technology, tools, etc. These little teeth are built for plants. Now, we've been opportunistic omnivores, and we are opportunistic omnivores. Like, we can process animals. We can also process humans. Okay, now there's a police coming now, so I don't know if he's gonna stop me. We're gonna find out soon, guys. What's going on, guys? Watch Dominion on YouTube. We're gonna find out soon. I'm gonna act like I'm looking here just to avoid this police. Okay, he's right in front of me. Oh, he's letting me go. I guess I'm in a public space. He waved at me. So anyway, all right, we're allowed to stay here, guys. Woohoo! I'm a little jaded. I got kicked off of a property yesterday. So I think that's confirmation that I'm in a public space here. It's kind of a gray area. They don't make it obvious because I'm on a public campus and then there's a gym right next to me. Going back to it. We are not herbivores. We are not carnivores. We are not omnivores. We are not cannibals. We are opportunistic in all of those ways. We could do those things, but by design, in intelligent design, we are herbivores. That's the first thing you said. That's right. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Somebody's asking good questions. I can't remember your name, but there's someone in here that's vegan curious, and brother, I'm with you. You can do it. All these people are being negative and they're complaining and they're being babies because ridicule is the first stage of truth. You're past that, though. You're beyond that stage, which is awesome. Ridicule is the first stage of truth. I was in the same boat you guys are, by the way. I made fun of the person that initially interfaced with me like this. Ridiculed them. Second stage of truth is violent opposition. And then the third stage of truth, it's the most beautiful one of all, it's acceptance. Last question, this spaghetti is made with eggs. Typically, can you use something vegan as an alternative? My family is very big on pasta. Oh yeah, you can find spaghetti made with wheat. There are some that are made with eggs, but you can find spaghetti made with wheat. I just had some today, and I used some Gardein bolognese, and I had a great spaghetti bolognese, and I feel fat and happy. So you can find them with wheat as well. Go to challenge22.com. They'll help you with all your nutritional questions, and they'll help you, you get a free nutritionist. They'll help you plan out a diet, answer any questions you have. Also keep in mind, guys, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. These are the guys, this is the objective body that certifies nutritionists. Whenever you see a nutritionist that works out of a clinical office or out of a hospital or an RD, this is the body that actually certifies them. They lament on their website that vegan diets are adequate for all stages of life, from pregnancy to elderhood. So this is via a huge aggregated data hive with all kinds of assimilated information from all kinds of different scientists, researchers, food journalists, and such. So the nutrition argument is off the table. So we're going to try to steer clear of that one. We're talking about ethos nowadays. If we do not need meat, cheese, milk, or eggs in our diet to thrive and survive, then that leaves us with stark implications. And the implications are that we are literally paying for rape. We're paying for violence. That's right, dairy cows have to be raped 3 to 4 times during their lifetime. We are paying for violence. We are paying for oppression, all for the sake of yum yum taste pleasure, everybody. Oh man, okay, Squid, don't go down that path, Squid. I'll answer it to you in one statement. Okay, oh wait, here's an even better one. Sydney teed up a question for me. So in order for a cow to get pregnant, a farmer has to stick their hand down their anus, holds down their cervix, and then injects ejaculated bull semen, which was force ejaculated, by the way, into the vagina or the private parts of said cow. So that's how the cow gets pregnant. If it's a male, it will either go to the veal industry or it will be reared for cattle. If it's a female, she will live the same miserable life that her poor mother lived, and she will be raped on I think it's like a 2 or 3 year basis, 3 or 4 times during her 8-year lifetime. She actually has a 25-year time horizon, but we're going to steal 2/3 of that time horizon, just for the sake of humans to drink milk. For the sake of humans to drink that white liquid filled with lipids, sodiums, proteins, IGF-1, cortisol, hormones, and growth factors that's perfect for a baby cow, But us humans are going to eat that, drink that, and it's going to make our kids sick. It's going to give us cancer risks. It's going to leach calcium from our bones. I know that sounds counterintuitive to what you've been told, but look it up. And essentially, it's going to lead us down a very dangerous path. Kids hit puberty quicker. Females develop quicker, abnormally quicker. And then they get obese quicker. I mean, that's what happens when you're putting something that's meant for an eventual 800-pound bovine land mammal into a child's vessel. So I challenge you to think about that. If you're just getting here, please like and subscribe. This is my second time out today. The earlier today, our initiative was the religious initiative, and we were lamenting and positing that if Jesus was alive today, he would be vegan. And we went up to a church near where I live downtown. Then we had to move locations, but we had some great conversations in the chat, and we got the word out on the street. Had a big old sign that said Jesus would be vegan in 2025. There you go. Everyone wants to see the sign. Democrats fought to keep slavery. Okay, now remember another thing about veganism. It is apolitical. It is atheist. It does not subscribe to politics or religion. It is simply the golden rule. If Jesus lived, he would laugh at you. Really? I mean, so you're saying that Jesus would pay for rape? Jesus would pay for murder? Jesus would pay for oppression? You're defending that positioning. Okay, I'm just making sure we're on the same page, because he would. Okay, you guys think he would. Well, you know what? We're in an impasse there with you guys. I'm not political. There's no reason to be political, in my humble opinion. It's just my opinion. I have no problem with people that follow certain politics, as long as there's no victims involved and you don't lever your religion or your politics to have a victim. I love raising my veggies and animals. Are there any other veggies? I love raising my veggies and animals. Well, I hope I don't know. Are you saying you raise animals to kill? God made animals for eating. It's just a rich person problem. No, God did not make animals for eating. I mean, there's historical context, so maybe historically God made them for us to eat to survive. But let's transcend God and Jesus to 2025, when we have every readily available vegan option available, and we can boycott systems of cruelty and violence. WWJD. What would Jesus do? And don't give me that crap where, oh, the Bible's timeless. That's called cherry picking, and that's called mental gymnastics. It's exactly what that is. There's biblical context disproving your narrative, and you know it. I'm just lamenting that Jesus in 2025 would be compassionate, being that he was the most compassionate man that ever lived. That's all I'm lamenting. There's nothing too far-fetched about that. You can agree. It's pretty binary. You can agree or you can disagree. But if you disagree, I would challenge your thoughts on things and challenge why you disagree. It's probably because you've been taught to disagree with that, and you're very comfortable with your current behaviors of paying for the systems you pay for and buying what you buy. Are my chicken eggs ethical? Well, the thing is, if you have chickens, even if they're backyard chickens and they live a great, beautiful life, you're still saying your body, my choice. That's the crux of being a non-vegan. You're saying your body, my choice to others, and that's the kind of stance that you're invoking into the world. And that's part of your legacy too, as a human. I know that sounds crazy, but I mean, think about it. On a deep, deep level, our actions speak a lot louder than our words, our lip service, and our beliefs. So, and by the way, I want a full disclosure here. I was not vegan for 30 years. I essentially am you guys, okay? When I was interfaced like this, I made fun of the person, I laughed at them, I thought it was ridiculous, I called them righteous, all kinds of names that I won't repeat here. But then I sat and I steeped with what they had said, and I think everybody's going to do that at some point. And you know, the truth is patient; it will wait for you. But the earlier you know, I think the better. And once you know better, you can do better. Um, so I'm not trying to attack anybody, and I'm not trying to be mean to you. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. Okay. I'm just trying to impart you with some sound information. That's all. So, love you all, guys. Love you all. What did Jesus multiply and give to the people in the desert alongside bread to eat? I know. I get it. That was brought up a million times in our last live stream. Okay, just please go back to the whole historical context thing. Oh, and also, while you're at it, I have a video that I filmed 2 weeks ago with the author of What a Fish Knows. His name is Jonathan Balcombe. And we talk about fish and their inner worlds, their familial dynamics, their cerebral capacities, their intelligence, their nociceptors. So they have feelings, they have families, they have an experience. And when we put a hook through their face and rip their faces off, it's not nice. There's nothing compassionate or Jesus-like about that. I mean, that's more of the work of the devil, if you ask me. There we go. I got a beta comment. Haven't had one of those in a while. Got a beta comment. Another one. Oh, same guy. Okay. Do you think it's alpha to? Do you think it's sigma to, like, you know, take the lives of children that have 9/10 of their time horizon left, but you just take their lives for the simple essence of taste pleasure, or the simple notion of taste pleasure? Is that macho? Is that alpha? It's pretty beta to me, man. Someone says, I'm eating the best steak ever. Okay, bye-bye. All right, just a guy. Everybody subscribe and like. Let's proliferate the vegan message, the truth, the golden rule. A lot of you in here, you might not even be talking. There's a lot of from my little buddies here that are all butthurt and they're in that kind of ridicule phase. But if you're vegan curious, I challenge you to check out a speech on YouTube called The Best Speech You'll Ever Hear by Gary Yourofsky. Also, there's a movie called Dominion, which I have on my sign here. I'm showing all the cars that walk by. Watch Dominion on YouTube. And really just, know that you have the ability to boycott cruelty and boycott, rape and savagery. And it's 2025. There's no excuse for abhorrent behaviors when we don't have to do it. So I appreciate you guys listening, especially the people that are actually curious and are here to maybe listen a little bit. So you guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys. And I know you're probably not typing anything, but I know you're here. Who's got a good question? Taz, what's your question? I'll field it. You got to ask it quick, though. Mark Golden says, you're a joke, buddy. Okay, Mark, well, I don't know what to tell you, big guy. Canine teeth. What about canine teeth? Okay, so that's your question. Okay, all good. So your canines are not built for eating meat. Your canines are flat and they go side to side. See, like that. See, a carnivore or an omnivore is going to go up and down, up and down. Your canines go side to side. They're meant for ruminating on things. They're meant for fruits and veggies. Do you think, and you gotta be honest, do you think you could go out into nature, run down, tackle a cow? How ridiculous would that look, for one? And then just bite into him using your hands and harvest him with those little babies you got back there? Because I'm gonna posit no. So you're an herbivore. You're not an omnivore. You're not a carnivore. You're not a cannibal. You might be opportunistic in all these spaces, but you are an omnivore. Is that right? All right, we're going to take a little more time, guys, and I'm going to get ready to head out. But Ryan's here. We missed you, man. So Ryan, and since I know there's some new people here, we are right outside the gym today again, and we got confirmation that we are allowed to be here. I literally had a policeman drive right up to me, and I just waved at him, and he nodded to me, and he kept driving. So that's a good sign. So we got a new spot we know we can come to. And vegans, anybody out there that wants to do this, you can stress test different areas. If you get kicked out, you know you can't be there. Like if you watched me yesterday, you'll see, and if you watch the short that I made from it, you'll see I got kicked off of a property. But we got to stress test these areas. You know, we got to. This is an urgent matter, and good people just don't know information. So we're going to disrupt societal flows. There's going to be more and more of us coming out here. You guys in the chat can cry and whine all you want. But guess what? Sooner or later, you're going to be interfaced with something like this on the street, in real life. And you can either be on the side of history, or on the right side of history, or you can keep doing the same behavior that you still think is normal, necessary, and nice. But everybody, if you're just getting here, like and subscribe. I'm trying to blow this channel up. I don't get money from it, guys. I'm just trying to blow the channel up so I can proliferate the vegan message far and wide. The more subscribers I have, the more reach I have. The more reach I have, the more change we can affect. And it's a team effort. So any vegans in here, please like and subscribe. Do you think people should be forced to go vegan, yes or no? Thank you, Kirkland, and I appreciate that donations. That's really nice of you. I think people, the way you frame it like that is kind of interesting, because I would back up and I would posit first that we are forcing our beliefs on others when we are not vegan, because we are forcing animals to go to the slaughterhouses. We are saying, in effect, your body, my choice, with our dollar. So that in turn, I think, eclipses your sentiment. However, I understand where you're coming from along the lines of freedom. Please watch my video on freedom. Oh, thanks, Adam, I appreciate that. That was nice, and it looks like it came with a balloon. Please watch my video on freedom with Dr. Will Tuttle that I made about 3 or 4 weeks ago, where we really touch on the fact that we're not trying to force anybody to do anything, but more so amplify on their freedoms. So that's how I would respond to that. But when we pay for meat and cheese and milk and eggs, we are ineffectively forcing our opinions. And it's even to a stronger degree than that. We're forcing our opinions, and we're forcing blades on others. We're taking things from others that are not ours. We're raping mothers, and we're killing kids. Chickens are at 1/10 of their time horizon when they're killed, all for the sake of trivial, futile taste pleasure. So, hey, Pig's Dream. Common Cat says, yeah, no, vegans are always trying to force people to change. Never met a vegan I liked. See, that's a perspective, you know, but once again, I would say, please watch my video with Dr. Will Tuttle. It's called Taking Your Freedom. And well, that's what it says in the thumbnail. The actual title is, I think, Turning Points, Episode 1, Dr. Will Tuttle on freedom. Yeah. How would you fix the meat industry? We're not about fixing the meat industry. We're about abolishing grass-fed farms, family farms, any kind of violence that happens needlessly. So even if an animal is killed once a year and he gets belly rubs and back scratches, gets to listen to Michael Bublé, bubble baths, etc., he still has to look up at the slaughterman at the end of the day and face that merciless wrath. So Animal Outlook warrants abolition. Animal Outlook is what we tilt to when we try to understand and comprehend the Golden Rule. We don't have the proper subject to handle plants. I think you've been reading too much Stephen Gundry or Anthony Chaffee. 32, these aren't canines, man. They go like this. Canines are like, what you're referring to is something that is not what we have, buddy. Grass-fed and free-roam cattle. Yeah, Daniel, it doesn't make a difference. They all go to the same slaughterhouse. At the end of the day, they got to face the wrath. And we get to steal everything from them just for the sake of a little taste pleasure. We take their lives, their sovereignty, we take their families, we permeate violence, we affect their families, we affect factory farm workers, we affect people that have to get desensitized to doing this on a daily basis. We affect the factory farm workers' loved ones. Domestic violence among factory farm workers, sky high right now, sky high. I think the highest rates of domestic violence nationally, actually, are from factory farm workers. So these are the things we vote for when we're voting for meat or cheese or milk or eggs to any capacity. Grass-fed, family farm, regenerative soil, I do not care. Mark says I'm an NPC. I just literally spawned here out of nowhere, and I'm gonna despawn when I'm done. Lil Mabu's son says, I love meat. Well, Lil Mabu's son, if you think about it from the animal outlook, your effector does not share your sentiment. Torta Pounder says chicken. Thanks for that contribution, Torta Pounder. Thanks, Clara. That's right. Feel free to ask me a good question too. I had somebody ask me some good questions earlier on in the chat, and I don't know if you're still here, sir, but I hope I answered your questions. Mark says venison. Let's just really showcase our intelligence levels here, guys. Oh, God Almighty. Anyway, if you're just getting here, I'm outside of the gym, and we are facing the cars coming in with the truth. It says buying meat is directly supporting slavery, rape, and violence. That's what you do with your dollar when you buy meat. That's what you exemplify when you buy meat. So that is the example you set to your friends and family, as a role model or whatever position you fill in your loved one's lives. Don't be the person that shores up and pays for systems of violence and rape like that. Lil Mabu says, go home, Lil Bruh. Now, we staying for a little bit, buddy. You can leave the chat, though. No one's forcing you to be here. But maybe this interests you a little bit. Maybe you're low-key vegan curious. I think Ryan's referring to one of the prior seasons, the one that was featured in Game Changers, where they were kicking ass and taking names. Troy says, don't use God's name like that. Well, you know, don't destroy his beautiful creatures. If Jesus was here today in 2025, he would be vegan. He would be nothing other than vegan. He was the most compassionate man that ever lived. If you disagree with that, you're saying that Jesus would be a rapist, a killer, and an oppressor. And these are not fancy word gymnastics. This is exactly how it is. There's some good comedy here. Jesus loves steak. No, he doesn't. Does anybody have any good questions for me? Like the guy earlier that asked me about what's healthier, Beyond Meat or Impossible, or the question about the protein powder, what kind of good brands are out there for plant protein. Does anybody have any good questions here? I'm just gonna ignore all the crap from now on. I'm looking for a good question. Eliza, ask it again. I'm sorry, I can't. Chat's moving too quick. Everybody goes vegan, what do we do? Let's see. Where's Eliza? Eliza, give me a good question, but please let it be a good question. Animals don't have souls or okay, Adam, I saw that, and I appreciate your donation. That's very nice of you. And I'm gonna piggyback on your sentiment there. So we can agree. I'll steel man you right there. So I'll agree with you right there and then move forward. So I'm gonna agree with what you just said. Animals don't have souls, but humans do. Okay, but what do animals have that matter, that makes them to be considered? They have eyes to see, central nervous systems to feel. They were created with brains to think, sexual organs to enjoy, the ability to feel joy, pain, sadness. These are all things that matter, and they matter inherently to the animal. And when we take away their life for the sake of taste pleasure, because remember, nutrition argument, that's off the table now. We're only doing this for taste pleasure. when we take away everything from them and strip them of their sovereignty for taste pleasure, we are ineffectively going against our own values, especially if we follow the golden rule in Jesus' teachings. So I hope I answered that question for you. But just because they're lower in value than us, and say they are lower in value than us, then we can be their guardians and protectors and not their oppressors and bullies. And that's a pretty strong stance to take, I would posit. Animal sovereignty? Yeah, they have, it's called bodily autonomy, the right to their own bodies. I guess there's a problem with that in your eyes. They shouldn't have right to their own bodies. It should be ours. Because remember, when we're not vegan, we're saying your body, my choice. And this transcends, man. These energies transcend, you know? We're eating these energies that we eat when we eat meat, cheese, and milk and eggs. It's very, very destructive spiritually. Uh-oh, this guy's still hung up on the Titans being vegan. I'm sorry. Half the damn team is vegan, okay? They kick ass, they take names, they're in the NFL. Half the Tennessee Titans are vegan. Get it? Just accept it. Clara says, is there any non-vegan food that you wish could be veganized? Oh, that's a great question, Clara. Thanks for teeing that up. Man, you know what's funny? Like, that is a hard question to answer. I'm trying to think of one right now. Damn. Hey man, give me a few more seconds. Damn. Wow, I think everything's covered. You can eat the vegan version of everything now. Beyond has their new steak. There's a new one coming out soon. Gardein makes a great bolognese sauce. You'll see, you know, different eggs substitutes all around. You'll see, you can even do tofu and scrambled tofu. Put some nutritional yeast on that. There's your scrambled eggs. You can eat everything. Italian, Japanese fusion, Chinese fusion. Damn. Yeah, there's nothing I can think of that I would want to see veganized. Everything is already veganized. And here are the bonuses, guys. You're going to get healthier because it's more healthy for you. Because these vegan plant-based meats are void of cholesterol, they're void of hormones, they're void of all that crap. I won't broken record you with all the stuff that's in meat. But plus you get fiber, and you don't get fiber from animal meat. You just don't. Celtic says, if everybody goes vegan, what do we do with the animals? So we're actually we're exacting them into existence artificially right now to the tune of 80 to 90 billion per year artificially. So we can just stop this. And there you go, 80 to 90 billion will not be brought into existence just to be killed a year. That's going to be a big factor. Another factor is the world's not going to go vegan, boom, just like that. It will be a kind of slow scaling. And we can take different cows, different pigs, and chickens, we can put them in sanctuaries and have a system set up. But the arc of history remains, guys. Every injustice is going to end. And I think we're at the inflection point here in 2025, and people are starting to change. So be on the right side of history, you know? Get on the right side of history. Go watch Dominion, Dominion.com. Dominion on YouTube. Watch Gary Yourofsky's best speech ever. Yeah, don't eat meat. You don't need to do that. Stop the behavior. You can pair your actions and your values. You can pair that spread. You can equilibrate, and you can authenticize your humanness. Farmers have to kill everything to grow vegan food, says Daniel. Daniel, thank you for the donation. And first of all, I appreciate that. It's very nice of you. And you know, you're right. There's a lot of death involved. In fact, just being alive, you know, we are killing sentient creatures. But I'll respond to that with three things. I'll say, first off, let's get a few things in mind. The definition of veganism is the reduction of harm to what is possible and practical. That's the actual definition of veganism. It's not perfection. It's not some appeal to nirvana. What's up, big guy? How are you? So it's basically the reduction of harm of what is practicable and possible. Okay, number two is vegans never direct I'm sorry, vegans never vote in support for direct animal exploitation. They never do that. So we're not paying for those animals to be killed in the fields. But non-vegans are directly paying for animals to be killed so they can directly eat them. So please keep that in mind. The third point is that 98% of the world is not vegan. That's just the backdrop. So 98% of farmers are not vegan. That's just the backdrop. So how can you expect us to convince farmers to be better stewards of their crops and more compassionate human beings when I can't even convince 9/10 of this chat that animals are worth more than rocks? So baseline is vegan. If we can get to baseline vegan, we can start tackling these peripheral issues. I hope that answered your question. I think I'm going to make a short out of that, guys. All right, guys, I'm getting ready to take off. It's getting dark out here, as you can see. Sunset is happening. I've been out here for an hour-long block. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys listening. Listen, we're all interconnected. We've all been wounded by herding culture and control narratives. We all have this inflection point where right now we can make the choice and we can say no to following orders from those 1% of the 1% up above that want to see us continue behaving like we're behaving and buying meat and cheese and milk and eggs and exacting all kinds of violence throughout the world. We can say no to that. We can say no to that. But we live in a very violent world, guys. It's very violent. Capitalism is savage. It has mercy on nobody. It's money, 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 me, 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 me. And a lot of people get left behind. A lot of others also get left behind. So we're not going home until all living beings feel home. I'll see you guys in the next video.